Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon. Last time, I do not remember because it's been a while since I've returned to this. I've done this video quite a while ago, and of course I've returned from the spirit. I honestly am bruised, hurt. My voice is torn apart right now. Because I've done some commentary to CXWA just a day ago, and my voice there was, and you can Els can back me up on this, my voice was insanely quiet, and Els had to change the audio settings on the mic for me just because of me, and that really proved how bad my voice is right now. So what I'm going to do is just do bits and commentary and not do commentate the entire thing, unfortunately. So you're probably going to have to put up in the next few parts. I'm just going to tell you in advance, so this is not a best of matchups, as you can see here. I'll just commentate when I feel ready to, at any point. So please enjoy this video, and possibly next time we'll make progress. I will probably commentate next time, so I'll probably cut at the cutaway point. I'll probably say some stuff. Then that's it. So just wait till then. I didn't do the fade out cutaway point because it wasn't really worth it. Okay, this was indeed the cutaway point, and honestly we're now going to face Team Aqua through the rest of this video, so you kind of expect what's going to happen. So we're going to deal with the Master Grunt and deal with the Aqua, one of the Aqua admins, and I'm going to say this now, next time we're going to head towards Fortress City, because I'm not going to commentate for the rest of this, so please, I'm just going to have to say sorry. I'm not in one of the best commentating situations right now. I would probably commentate, but because of my voice, and I'm nervous in the fact I'm losing my voice lately, I've changed the mic settings again for me on here. Oh fuck. I'll probably do bits and pieces in the next few parts, so you're just going to have to deal with it. Obviously I'm not going to commentate for the rest of this. I would normally commentate at the end, so next time we'll probably do some stuff. Head to Fortress City without Chestnut. So I know there's like another 6 minutes left of this video. I'm going to say goodbye right now, and I'll see you next time. So the video will continue, I will not complain. So, thank you.